I'll introduce you. Kyle's gonna do a segment today, and it's called
My Milkshake Brought Jack Thompson to the Yard.
Everybody pay attention. It's very, very important that listen.
For a lot of people in this room, they haven't actually heard this story yet, so this is going to be fun. I was sitting around one day at my laptop, as I usually am. This isn't it. This is the amazing person off in the wings laptop. But anyways, I was sitting on my laptop like usual, and I heard Jack Thompson going on again about how video games are bad, how they cause violence, all of that stuff. And I thought to myself, well, maybe he's so rude to all of us and so vehement and angry to all of us because nobody has actually spoken to him with respect yet. And although I disagree with him completely on every level, I do respect the guy for being so bold in his statements and for standing up for what he believes in the face of all logic and actual reality. You know, no matter what's true, he just keeps going strong, you know, and I really do. This is sounding sarcastic. It wasn't at the time. At the time, it was genuine respect, but he responded, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, at that time, I had genuine respect for the man, and I was very proud of him for standing up for what he believed in, so I decided it would be a great idea to email him. So I had a good friend of mine find out his email address through sources that I still don't know what they are, and I emailed the man. And I was very polite and concise. I will read the emails. Okay. Dear Mr. Thompson, I suppose that there's no real point in beating around the bush. I am a 20-year-old gamer who has played everything from the original Pong all the way to the ever-controversial Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Many people I know have come to be quite angry at you for your statements about games in general, and more specifically games of a violent nature. I realize, however, that getting angry doesn't get anything accomplished. I decided that instead it would probably be a better course of action to simply write you a polite email. The goal of this email is not to make you change your mind or stop doing it is what you feel you... Stop doing what it is you feel you must. I apologize for my incredibly poor reading skills. My brain gets ahead of my mouth.
Graduate of the learning schools.
No, my brain gets ahead of my mouth. Anyways,
That's what she said.
Stop thinking about sex so much, Kyle. Sorry,
I really don't want to start over, so I'm just gonna
Take
keep going.
8,000,001.
Now, okay. The goal of this email is not to make you change your mind or stop doing it as what you feel you must. It is instead simply to give you the gamer's side of the story in a clear, polite manner. Now, if you've read this far, I suppose I can hope that you'll read the rest as well, so I'll continue to my point. Many times I have listened to your opinion on the matter, and I respect it as your opinion. This is mine. Quite simply, it is my thought that although violence may be inspired by some games, the games themselves are not at fault or the cause. I believe that the minds of the people and children who commit violent acts are otherwise predisposed towards violence. I am a non-violent person, and therefore I do not commit violent acts. No amount of playing violent video games will ever change that. In fact, if anything, I find playing Grand Theft Auto and the like to be quite a way to release stress. It is a sort of catharsis. Sometimes it's fun and relieving to fight and destroy. These are urges as old as humanity itself. The difference to me is that in our day and age, we have simulated non-living things to take the urges out on. Simply, I would greatly prefer that my children, when I have them, fight imaginary people rather than get into real-life fights. The fault lies not with the games, but with either those who commit the violence themselves or those who, while raising them, never taught them the difference between real and make-believe. My parents did a very good job. I know that if I harm someone in reality, there will be dire consequences, just as sure as I know that video games aren't reality. When someone kills a person and claims the government made him do it, we lock him in an asylum. We don't attack the government. But when someone kills a person and says the games made him do it, we attack the games. This isn't right. It is simply the sick mind of a violent person twisting to a different thing to blame. It is the way of our society to blame everything and anything we can for our wrongdoing except ourselves. I feel that it is time that this stops. If there were no violent video games, then we would right now be discussing violent movies. And if there were no violent movies, it would be books. As long as we live, we will find something to blame. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I hope you have found my thoughts to be well put and polite. I look forward greatly to your reply. Sincerely, Kyle Fulton. So about a couple hours later, not long at all, I received a response from Mr. Thompson. Now, after my long, albeit very long, I apologize for the length of that, email, I thought it was very concise and properly worded, you know, and I was just trying to be polite and, you know, offer him another point of view. He responded thusly: I am not interested in your opinion. I have experts who have testified before Congress as to the harm of these games. They have facts. You have nothing but bias. Don't bother me again. Now, I was offended by this because, at the very least, he could have put it in a proper letter format, you know, addressed me respectfully with, you know, dear Mr. Fulton, you know what I mean, just being respectful. I didn't really expect anything more than what I got because of the way he's been seen to react to things like this before, but I thought, you know, maybe if I was polite, he would be polite too, but he wasn't, so I decided to write him back. I wrote, Dear Mr. Thompson, in case you missed the purpose of my original letter, my thought behind it was that I believed that you had been treated unfairly in the past. I felt that, though I disagreed with you, your opinion was to be respected nonetheless, and had hoped to discuss the matter with you intelligently. Even now, after your rather short, and I must confess rude response, I believe in your right to say anything you wish. I will choose to believe that you had a bad day or something today, rather than believe that anyone can be so outright rude to someone who was giving them every bit of respect they deserve. You see, everyone who knew I was sending you this email insisted that you'd respond in essentially the manner that you have. No, I said, I'm sure he's a reasonable man who will see my attempt to hold an actual conversation rather than insult him as most gamers have. I can honestly say that I have rarely been more upset to be proven wrong. I thought perhaps even if you so coldly disregarded my opinion, you would at least give me the respect of common courtesy. Though I could go on at some length about manners at this point, I choose not to, as I'm sure you're a busy man. Once again, thank you for taking the time to read my letter, even if you didn't really pay attention. As a small note, however, perhaps your generally disdainful attitudes towards the people you claim to be trying to save from the games is a part of why they are typically so rude to you. Sincerely, Kyle Fulton. Now, he of course responded again with, I told you to stop bothering me. One more email and I will have you prosecuted, you jerk. Now at this point, it became fun. It stopped being a matter of me just trying to be a polite person and being offended and started being a source of entertainment. So I wrote him again. I wrote, Dear Mr. Thompson, I sincerely doubt that there is anything illegal or prosecutable in my actions. I have given you nothing but respect, and if you don't like my emails, it is simple enough for you to block my address. I do think that you need to seriously reconsider the way you treat the general public if you ever hope to execute the changes you desire. As usual, thank you for your time. Sincerely, Kyle Fulton. Now at this point, my actual having of the letters stops because it seems that I have accidentally lost the next two letters, which, no, there was only one more letter from him. Quite simply, it stated that annoying people is illegal and that he was going to pursue legal action against me because I was annoying him. I decided at that point to play it safe and not respond anymore, but the fact of the matter is he has taken no action against me, and if he did, I think that my letters would stand as proof that I had no actual malicious intent behind my emails. I just thought that I would like to share that with all of you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll let you know if I get sued.